Is it wise to listen to music when you're riding? Up until now, I'd always said no, you do not do anything that stupid unless you've got a few years under your belt. The reason being, as far as I was always concerned, was that you'd get easily distracted, any traffic coming along, noises you wouldn't hear, and you change lanes without listening, and next thing you know, a car smashes into you, or you do something stupid, not realizing the horns going off around you, and anyone trying to alert you of any danger. You're just oblivious in your own little world, listening to your tunes, bobbing and dancing along, and not being aware of what's going on in the road. I'd always had that opinion. I would always have said it was inherently dangerous, the most stupid thing you could ever do. Turns out though that that's not quite the case, and I'll give you an example of what I mean. When I taught Dawn how to ride, she was the sort of person who had a hard time transitioning from thinking about what she was doing physically to turning it into muscle memory. And the only way that she could at least test her muscle memory was to have some kind of distraction. Now, when she says she listens to music for that distraction, to basically sort of put herself in the zone. She won't listen to anything she hasn't heard before 1,000 times, so anything she listens to, she knows what's coming up next, what the lyrics are, or what the music melody is going to be. But it would zone her out to watch the road, and she'd still be able to hear traffic and hear horns and basically concentrate on riding. And bearing in mind that she'd been driving for many years, so she knew what to do on the road. She said that listening to music actually puts her in a situation where, or puts her in a frame of mind where she doesn't overthink what she's doing. She doesn't overthink where the clutch bites, how much throttle to give. And if she didn't have anything committed to muscle memory, she'd stall the bike, or she'd be too aggressive with the brakes, or throttle too much or something. Then it'd be something for her to teach herself or to learn to do, to convert it from thinking about to muscle memory. Now the same is said for Shea. When she's riding around on her Vulcan, she wants to listen to music for the exact same reason. She overthinks what she's doing. She concentrates too much on things that are not necessary. And when I say not necessary, I mean like she's concentrating on a car that might be right the way down the road, that have nothing to do with her, or she'd be concentrating on oncoming traffic from 2 lanes away. Unnecessary stuff. So music puts her in a frame of mind where it brings her in that moment, zones her into what she has to do, and to automatically know how to do things. Okay, so is listening to music dangerous? Well, for some people, yes. But for some people, no. I got a funny feeling that a daughter and her mother are the type of people whereby listening to music in a headphone set, in your helmet, is not a bad thing. It helps. And they would probably be more dangerous riding if they didn't have anything to kind of separate the frontal part of their brain, the one that processes unnecessary shit, focus that somewhere else so that like the rest of your body can be, or the rest of your brain can be free to just do what it does. Now we're all individuals. We all have our own way of being able to process the way that we do something, the way that we drive, the way that we ride. Now when it gets dangerous, from what I kind of understand, is when you're in there having a party with your friends. Now this is mostly like teens in cars with all their friends in there, and they've got the music up, blaring up loud, and all they're doing is just singing along and doing something stupid. The distraction, as far as I'm concerned, the greatest distraction as far as I'm concerned is kids who have friends in the car singing along to whatever tunes are playing in their heads or playing in their stereo. Or as I like to call it, party rides. And you see them. Yesterday was a tragic story of a young 18-year-old girl with her sister and a friend in a Buick, driving down the road, basically having a party, live streaming on Instagram themselves, singing and partying along with the music. Her car verges on a lane or verges off the lane. She overcorrects and sends it into a spin across the meridian, into incoming traffic, through a barbed wire fence, tumbling over and over until it comes to rest in the middle of a field. So she still live streaming Instagram's dead sister, saying, I am going to jail for the rest of my life. As she becomes more and more hysterical as the reality sinks in that her sister is dead, or dying at the time, but she was pronounced dead at the scene. The 14-year-old friend, along with the sister, were both ejected from the car. They weren't even wearing seatbelts. Turns out this girl is going to get done for driving under the influence, DUI, or substance. Thing is though, the media hasn't exactly said what her limit was. I mean, she was 18, so it was illegal for her to basically have anything with alcohol in it. Oh, someone got a tug. No, that's not someone getting a tug, that's an entire... Nope, several tugs. Just keep the speed at the limit and we'll be fine. Don't want to get a tug. So go back to the story. These girls, like I said, two of the girls, the sister and the sister's friend, were ejected from the car because they weren't wearing seatbelts. This girl was being done for DWI or DUI, and they never said what their alcohol blood limit was. Didn't say how much she'd actually had. For all we know, she could have just had a sip of Benadryl like 3 hours prior to that, or she could have been completely shit-faced. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but one thing I do know is that was a party car and it all went wrong. I'm sorry about what happened. I mean, God, imagine that, sitting in a jail cell having just killed your own sister through your actions or inactions, your inexperience, your partying. It's like wondering, what the hell were you thinking if you were drunk? On a couple of occasions in my life where I think I might have had one or two too many, and not blind stupid drunk, I know my limits. But if I normally go out, I'll have a couple of, if I'm driving, I'll normally have a couple of beers and that's it. For the rest of the night, I'm drinking water. But if I happen to have 3 beers, or I happen to knock back one last beer before I go, I'm going to be careful. I'm not going to listen to music. I'm going to concentrate on the road. I'm not going to sit there having a party, listening to music and dancing and singing and with all my friends. No, I'm not going to do that. Don't quite understand people who do. The thing is, this sort of thing happens every day. It's just that what brought this one front and centre was the fact that they live streamed the whole event. Of course, that video's going viral now, even on the dark web, because no one's really carrying it like through the media because of how harrowing it is. Yeah, that's definitely one of the main things that's most likely to end up in an accident or a collision. Texting and driving and having party rides. That's why the law in this state is pretty strict about that. If you're under the age of 18, you are not to have anyone in the car with you except a licensed driver over the age of 21. This girl was 18 and it still happened. One thing I do know, if the police are out over there, then there might be one over around this corner here. We've been pulled here before. The speed limit is 15, that's all I'm doing till I know for sure. Ooh, gotta make the light. Yeah, I've made the light. Just need to slam on the brakes a little bit. Well, it's going to be a beautiful day today. Beautiful morning. Well, that's pretty much all I can think of to talk about this morning. So I'm going to sign off. Make sure you all have a fantastic afternoon. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like and subscribe. And all I can say is, laters.